I feel like the entire world is literally holding its breath right now. Like everybody is waiting for some event or something to happen to come along and just ease the tension and relieve the pressure. It's like there's some sort of unseen force lurking in the background that you can't quite see, you can't touch, but it's more of a feeling. And let me know if y'all felt this way, but I've been feeling this way for a while now. And when I think about all the reasons why this is happening, I think the reason we're feeling this way is very justified. And I think a lot of this stemmed from 2020. 2020 was the catalyst for a lot of the stuff that we deal with today. It caused the price of everything to go up, and once the price went up, it never came back down. We still deal with this. And that is because these greedy corporations and these industries realize that people are willing to pay the price. So what incentive do they have to lower it back down to the levels that it was before 2020? And that event also instilled a lot of fear and anxiety and stress into people's lives. That never went away. The entire social dynamic, the way we communicate, all that has changed. Nobody goes out anymore. People very rarely communicate face to face. All this stuff has changed. And fast forward to today, now we also have all this stuff going on overseas. The war in Iran is causing the price of gas to go up. And I don't know about y'all, but in my rural area here in Kentucky, the price of gas is almost $4 a gallon. And I'm hearing a lot of people talk about this now because they're now saying that the price of everything is going to go up. It's going to cause a trickle-down effect because everything relies on petroleum. And I'm not even just talking about transportation. I'm talking about everything from pharmaceuticals to food to the clothes that we put on our backs. If you think about all the stuff that uses petroleum as an ingredient or as the main source for that product, it is actually shocking. Plastics, various food products, synthetic materials, all these things are made from petroleum. And we don't think about this stuff. But when the price of it goes up, it not only affects the supply chain, which causes everything else to go up, but everything else in our lives that is made from petroleum also goes up. And this is a really scary thing because if the 2020 event showed us anything, it's that once the price of these things go up, they will never come back down. And that is not good because people are already struggling. It is very hard to make ends meet today. And if things continue to go up, it's going to look pretty dark for us. So it's no wonder that people are feeling this way. It's no wonder people are feeling this pressure and this stress and they just want relief. And a major issue here is that it is very common in modern society today to put all of our eggs in one basket. And that is what we have done with petroleum. For whatever reason, we rely on petroleum for our main source of energy for all this stuff. We rely on petroleum for most of the materials in our lives. And we continue to make this mistake over and over and over again. And a prime example of that is technology. And I think about this all the time because I think about what would happen if the grid went down and suddenly electricity was cut off. It would be absolute pandemonium. Society as we know it would cease to exist, and that would happen overnight. And this has gotten exponentially worse with the advent of AI because with artificial intelligence coming in, we now not only have to worry about that taking our jobs away and displacing us in that way, we also have to worry about it displacing us physically. Because now we have to worry about AI data centers coming in and moving into our neighborhoods next door and literally displacing us, forcing us out of the natural world and the natural world becoming industrialized, because that is exactly what's happening. We also have to worry about it sucking up all the drinking water and raising the cost of utilities. And we also have to worry about the fact that if one of these technologies goes down, or if the grid goes down, where does that leave us in society? We will no longer have access to our money. We won't be able to buy food. And I think people are catching on to that. People feel it. They realize how much of a precarious situation this is, that we are being forced into this corner, and that we're becoming so reliant on these very individual, specific things. And that is bringing a lot of stress and a lot of fear into people's lives. And I think people are just waiting for the next big event to happen, especially with the war going on. People are wondering where that's going to leave us. Is it going to intensify? Is it going to lead to World War III? Is there going to be another pandemic? Is there going to be another crazy event that happens that stops society and causes everything to unravel like it did in 2020? This is not at the back of people's minds anymore. It's at the forefront of their minds. These are things that people worry about every single day. And the mainstream media and social media has intensified this because we now get caught up in the scroll, and the scroll feeds us this stuff. It wants us to remain trapped in this state of fear. It wants us to not be able to think critically and think logically about our situation and look for ways out. Because when we're stuck in that fear state, the only thing we can do is react. We continue to fall in line and do what is expected of us. And I know people are fed up. I know people are tired of feeling this way. But the problem is that it's very easy now to get on social media and just vent your frustrations. And that's what a lot of us do. I do the same thing sometimes. But what that does is it gives us this false perception that we're actually doing something productive to improve our situations. But we're not. Because in many cases when you do that, you're just screaming into the void. The people that you think hear you, a lot of those people are just caught up in the scroll just like everybody else. They hear the information and then they scroll on to the next thing and they start doom scrolling, and the thing they heard 20 seconds ago gets overwritten. All that information basically goes in one ear and it goes right out the other. So in that sense, our efforts are basically in vain. And because they're in vain, that leaves people feeling exactly what we're feeling right now, where we just want to feel some sort of relief, where we're stuck in limbo just waiting for something to happen to relieve the tension, to ease the pressure. So with all that said, what do we do to combat this? Is there anything that we can do to relieve that pressure? I think that's a fantastic question. And I've taken a lot of time to think about this, and I've taken a lot of time to experiment on myself. And what I've found is that, yes, there is. And I think there's actually a silver lining here, because what I've realized is that by focusing on all the things in life that we can't control, for example, the stuff that happened in 2020, the stuff that's happening overseas, all the AI and stuff that's being built around us, all these things, they keep the pressure on us. And the longer we focus on these things, the things that we can't control, the more that pressure builds up. And I've come to realize that there has to be a way to relieve that pressure. And that way has to come from us, because it's very unlikely to come from society. If anything, it's going to trigger more pressure. So it's fundamentally important to create that relief for ourselves. And for me, doing that has been as simple as just drowning out the noise, shutting my phone off, limiting myself on social media, not getting caught up in the doom scroll, and refocusing on the things in life that matter to me. And the things in life that matter to me are the basics, the fundamentals. Getting outside, walking around, spending time with my dog. So I found that by simply doing my hobbies and the things in life that I truly enjoy, that's enough to disconnect me from all this nonsense and all this noise and relieve the pressure. It's enough for me to appreciate life. Relieving that pressure and taking back control of my life has been as simple as doing just that. And I truly hope that it is that simple for you.